Welcome to Easy English. Subscribe and enjoy learning English every day.
Hello, my name is Jackson. Today, I want to tell you a special story. It happened on the weekend before Mother's Day. It was my first time going to the supermarket by myself to buy food for a family barbecue. I was a little nervous, but I was also excited. That day became one of the happiest days I can remember. It was a beautiful Saturday morning. The sun was shining through my bedroom window, and the birds were singing outside. I woke up later than usual because it was the weekend. I stretched my arms, looked out the window, and smiled. It felt like it was going to be a wonderful day. We sat down together and enjoyed breakfast. My father was reading the newspaper, and my younger sister was drawing flowers for Mother's Day. The house felt warm, peaceful, and full of love. After breakfast, my mother looked at me and asked, "Jackson, can you help me with something today?" "Of course," I replied. "What do you need?" She smiled again and handed me a shopping list. "I would like you to go to the supermarket and buy the food for tomorrow's Mother's Day barbecue. We are inviting Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt Lisa, Uncle Ben, and our neighbors. It will be a special family celebration." I looked at the shopping list. It was longer than I expected. The list included chicken, beef, pork sausages, fresh salmon, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, corn, mushrooms, potatoes, onions, garlic, apples, bananas, strawberries, bread, cheese, butter, barbecue sauce, fruit juice, bottled water. I quietly read every item one more time. "Wow," I said, "that's a lot of food." My mother laughed. "I know, but I believe you can do it." I smiled, but inside I felt nervous. To be honest, I had never bought groceries by myself before. Usually, I went shopping with my parents. I simply pushed the shopping cart while my mother chose everything. This time was different. This time, I had to choose everything on my own. "What if I buy the wrong food?" I asked. "What if I forget something? What if I choose vegetables that are not fresh?" My mother noticed my worried face. She gently put her hand on my shoulder. "Don't worry, Jackson," she said kindly. "Everyone learns by trying. Just take your time. Read the labels carefully. Look at the food. If you don't know something, you can always ask a supermarket employee. They will be happy to help you." Her words made me feel much better. "I'll do my best," I said. "I know you will," my mother replied. Before I left, she gave me a reusable shopping bag, my wallet, and the shopping list. "Remember," she said with a smile, "buy fresh food. Fresh ingredients make delicious meals." "I won't forget," I answered. I put on my sneakers, picked up my backpack, and walked toward the front door. As I opened the door, a cool spring breeze touched my face. The neighborhood looked peaceful. Children were riding bicycles, a family was walking their dog. Bright flowers were blooming in many gardens. Everything reminded me that spring had arrived. The supermarket was only about 15 minutes away on foot. I decided to walk instead of taking the bus. Along the way, I thought about tomorrow's barbecue. I imagined everyone laughing together. I imagined the smell of grilled chicken and fresh vegetables. I imagined my mother smiling because our family was together. I wanted everything to be perfect. As I continued walking, I checked the shopping list again and again. Chicken, beef, vegetables, fruit, bread. I quietly repeated each item so I would not forget anything. Soon, I saw the large supermarket in front of me. The automatic glass doors opened slowly as customers walked in and out. People were pushing shopping carts. Some were buying flowers, some were choosing fruit. Some were carrying fresh bread. I took a deep breath. "This is it," I whispered to myself. "My first shopping trip." I smiled, held the shopping list tightly in my hand, and walked through the entrance, ready for a brand new adventure. The supermarket was very big and bright. I stood near the entrance for a moment. There were so many rows of shelves. People were moving quickly with their shopping carts. I could hear the sound of soft music playing in the background. I looked down at the shopping list in my hand. Okay, Jackson, I whispered to myself. Let's start with the meat section. I walked toward the back of the store. A large sign above said fresh meat and seafood. The section looked very clean. There were long glass counters filled with different kinds of meat. I saw chicken wings, chicken breasts, thick steaks of beef, and pork sausages. Everything looked good, but I stopped. I felt confused. On my list, my mother wrote chicken and beef, but there were so many types of chicken. Should I buy chicken wings or chicken thighs? Should I buy a large piece of beef or sliced beef? I stood there for 3 minutes, just staring at the counter. My heart started to beat a little faster. Usually, my mother just picked up a package and put it in the cart. She never stopped to think this long. Now, I understood that shopping was not as easy as it looked. I decided to choose chicken breasts because they looked easy to grill. I carefully picked up a package, then I looked at the beef. I chose a pack of fresh ground beef for burgers and some nice steaks. Next, I found the pork sausages. I put them into my shopping cart. Great, I thought, that is the meat. Now I need fresh salmon. I moved to the seafood counter next door. The salmon pieces were resting on cold, crushed ice. They looked pink and beautiful. However, some pieces had skin and some did not. Some pieces were large and some were small. I did not know which one was better for a barbecue. I breathed in deeply and picked a medium-sized piece. I hoped it was the right choice. After the meat and seafood, I walked to the vegetable section. This area was full of bright colors. I saw green lettuce, red tomatoes, and yellow bell peppers. The air here smelled fresh and clean. My list had many vegetables: lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, corn, mushrooms, potatoes, onions, and garlic. I took a green plastic bag from a roll. I walked over to the tomatoes. There were big tomatoes, small cherry tomatoes, tomatoes on the vine, and organic tomatoes. I reached out my hand to pick one. Suddenly, I hesitated. Was it too soft? Was it too hard? How could I know if a tomato was truly fresh and sweet? I looked around the vegetable section. I felt completely lost again, just a few steps away. A young supermarketello was arranging fresh green vegetables on a shelf. She wore a green uniform and a neat apron. Her name tag said Chloe. She looked very kind and professional. Chloe noticed that I was holding a tomato and looking worried. She stopped her work, turned to me, and smiled warmly. "Hello there," she said in a friendly voice. "You look a bit confused. Can I help you find something today?" I felt a wave of relief. I smiled back at her and held up my shopping list. "Hi, Chloe," I said. "Yes, please. I am buying groceries for a big family barbecue tomorrow. It is my very first time shopping alone, and to be honest, I don't really know how to choose the best and freshest vegetables." Chloe laughed softly and nodded understandingly. "Don't worry at all," she said cheerfully. "Choosing fresh food is a wonderful skill, and it is actually quite fun once you know the secrets. Let me show you how to pick the perfect vegetables for your barbecue." Chloe smiled brightly at me. Her warm smile made all my worries disappear. "A family barbecue is wonderful," Chloe said. "And you are a good son for helping your mother. Don't worry about the food. Choosing fresh vegetables and meat is very easy. You just need to use your eyes, your hands, and your nose. Let's start with the tomatoes right here." She walked closer to the display of tomatoes. I followed her with my empty green plastic bag. "Look at these tomatoes, Jackson," Chloe explained. "First, look at the color. A good tomato should have a rich, bright red color all over. If it is green or yellow, it is not ripe yet. If it has dark brown spots, it is too old." She picked up a beautiful red tomato and handed it to me. "Now, hold it in your hand," she said. "Feel the weight and the skin. A fresh tomato feels heavy for its size. The skin should be smooth and firm. Gently press it with your thumb. It should be slightly soft, but not squishy. If it is too hard, it has no juice. If it is too soft, it is bad." I held the tomato carefully. "It felt heavy and firm, like this?" I asked. "Perfect," Chloe nodded. "Next, smell the top of the tomato near the green stem. A sweet, fresh tomato has a nice, earthy smell. If it has no smell, it will have no taste." I smelled the tomato. It had a lovely, fresh scent. "Wow, I can really smell it," I said excitedly. I quickly chose 6 beautiful red tomatoes and put them into my bag. "That is excellent," Chloe said. "Now, let's move to the bell peppers and cucumbers." We walked a few steps to the next display. The bell peppers were shiny and bright. For bell peppers, Chloe said, the rule is similar. Look for deep colors and shiny skin. The stems should be bright green and fresh, not dry or brown. Pick them up. They must be firm and hard. If the skin is wrinkled, the pepper is old and losing water. I looked at the yellow and red bell peppers. I found 3 shiny peppers with beautiful green stems. They felt very hard and heavy. I put them into my cart. "Good job," Chloe smiled. "Now, look at the cucumbers. Choose cucumbers that are firm and dark green. Avoid cucumbers that are yellow or have soft spots. Small or medium cucumbers are usually sweeter and have fewer seeds than very large ones." I picked for medium-sized, dark green cucumbers. I felt like a real expert now. My shopping cart was becoming full of beautiful colors. "What about the lettuce and the corn?" I asked, looking at my list. The green lettuce is very important for a barbecue," Chloe said. She led me to the leafy green section. A cool mist of water was spraying over the vegetables. "Look at the bottom of the lettuce head," Chloe showed me. "The cut end should be white or light green. If it is dark brown or black, the lettuce was cut a long time ago. The leaves should be crisp and bright green. Never buy lettuce with slimy or yellow leaves." I checked the bottom of a large head of lettuce. It was perfectly white and the leaves were crisp. I put it into a bag. Next, we went to the fresh corn. For the corn, don't open the green husk completely, Chloe advised. Just feel the outside. The husk should be bright green and feel a little damp. The silk, those little hairs at the top, should be brown and sticky. If the silk is black or dry, the corn is old. Gently press the kernels through the husk. They should feel plump and full. I pressed the ear of corn. I could feel the round, full kernels inside. I chose 6 ears of corn for the grill. We also need mushrooms, potatoes, onions, and garlic, I said. Chloe smiled and continued to guide me. For mushrooms, look for clean, white caps. They should be dry, not slimy. For potatoes, choose firm ones without green skin or sprouts. Green skin on potatoes can taste bitter. For onions and garlic, always choose the hardest ones. If they feel soft, they are bad inside. Following Chloe's advice, I quickly collected the mushrooms, potatoes, onions, and garlic. I felt so grateful. "Thank you so much, Chloe," I said. "You know so much about food." "It is my job, and I love fresh ingredients," she answered warmly. Then she looked at the meat and seafood already in my cart. "I see you already have chicken, beef, sausages, and salmon," she remarked. Did you check them carefully? I shook my head. No, I just picked the ones that looked good. Let me double check them for you, Chloe said kindly. She looked at the package of chicken breasts. This chicken is good. The meat is pink and healthy. Avoid chicken that looks gray or has a lot of liquid in the package. Next, she looked at the beef steaks. These steaks are perfect for a barbecue. Look for the color. Fresh beef should be bright cherry red. If the beef looks dark brown or purple, it has been sitting on the shelf for a while. Also, look for white lines of fat inside the meat. We call this marbling. Marbling makes the beef juicy and tender when you grill it. I looked closely at the steaks. I saw the small white lines of fat. I didn't know that, I admitted. I thought fat was bad. Chloe laughed softly. A little fat inside the meat gives it great flavor. Now, let's look at your salmon. She examined the piece of fish. The flesh is firm and has a bright pink color. That is good when you buy salmon. Make sure the meat does not separate into pieces. It should be tightly packed. If you buy a whole fish, the eyes must be clear and bright, not cloudy. I looked at my shopping list. All the fresh foods were checked. My cart was full of healthy, beautiful, and fresh ingredients. I felt a great sense of achievement. I could not have done this without Chloe's help. Well, Jackson, Chloe said, turning back to her shelf of green vegetables. You have everything you need for a perfect barbecue. Your family is going to love the food tomorrow. Thank you, Chloe, I said sincerely. You saved my day. My mother told me that fresh ingredients make delicious meals. Now, thanks to you, I have the freshest food in the supermarket. Chloe smiled, her eyes shining with kindness. You are very welcome, Jackson. It was a pleasure to help you. I felt very happy as I prepared to walk toward the bread and sauce aisles. I realized something. Chloe was not just a helpful employee. She was also a very interesting person. And she was around my age. I wanted to talk to her a little more. I stood near the vegetable section for a moment. My shopping cart was full of fresh, colorful food. I looked at the shopping list again. The fresh items were all checked. Next are the dry foods and sauces, I said to myself. I turned around and saw Chloe. She was going back to her work. She picked up a box of green cucumbers to put on the shelf. She looked busy, but she was still humming a happy song. I hesitated for a second, then I pushed my cart closer to her. Excuse me, Chloe, I called out softly. Chloe turned around and smiled warmly. Yes, Jackson? Did you forget something on your list? No, I have all the fresh food, I smiled, lifting a pack of steaks. But I need to buy barbecue sauce and bread. Can you tell me where the sauce aisle is? Oh, the sauces are in aisle 5, right next to the spices, Chloe answered, pointing toward the middle of the store. And the bakery section is at the very end of that aisle. You can find fresh bread there. Awesome, thank you, I said. I did not walk away immediately. I wanted to continue the conversation. Do you work here every weekend? I asked. Yes, I do, Chloe nodded. I work here on Saturdays and Sundays. I am a student at the local college. I study culinary arts because I love cooking and learning about food. My eyes went wide. Really? You study cooking? No wonder you know so much about marbling in beef and fresh tomatoes. Chloe laughed, her eyes shining. Yes, I want to be a chef in the future. That is why I enjoy working in the fresh produce section. I get to see the best ingredients every day. That is amazing, I said sincerely. I love food too, especially grilled food. My dad and I always make burgers, but tomorrow is special. We want to make a perfect steak and salmon dinner for my mother. That is so sweet of you, Chloe said. A good tip for the barbecue sauce: look for the one with less sugar. It burns less easily on the grill, so your meat will taste better. Wow, another great tip. You are a lifesaver. Chloe, I smiled. I looked at her neat green apron and felt a bit shy. I am actually new to this neighborhood. I don't know many people here. Since you know so much about cooking, maybe could I get your phone number? Maybe I can ask you if I have more cooking questions tomorrow? Chloe looked surprised for a moment, then her cheeks turned a little pink. She smiled a very sweet smile. Sure, Jackson. I would love to help you with your barbecue. She took a small piece of paper and a pen from her pocket. She wrote down her name and her number, then handed it to me. Here you go. You can text me tomorrow if your steak looks too brown. I took the paper carefully. Thank you so much, Chloe. I will definitely text you, I said happily. Good luck with the shopping and the barbecue tomorrow, Jackson, she said, waving her hand. I pushed my shopping cart toward aisle 5. My heart was light and I had a big smile on my face. I came to the supermarket to buy groceries for my mother. But now I also found a wonderful new friend. I could not wait to tell my family about my adventure today. The next morning, the sun was bright and warm. Our backyard smelled like fresh green grass and sweet flowers. My father and I were busy near the big barbecue grill. We were matching cooking aprons. Are you ready, Jackson? My father asked with a big smile. Yes, Dad. Let's make the best Mother's Day barbecue ever, I replied happily. First, we prepared the meat and seafood. I remembered Chloe's useful tips from the supermarket. I looked at the beefsteaks. They had beautiful white lines of marbling. I seasoned them with a little salt, black pepper, and garlic. Then my dad placed them carefully on the hot grill. Sizzle. The sound was amazing and a delicious smell filled the air. Next, we grilled the fresh chicken breasts and the pork sausages. I watched the grill closely so the meat would not burn. While the meat was cooking, I prepared the vegetables. I washed the crisp green lettuce and sliced the bright red tomatoes. I also chopped the dark green cucumbers and shiny yellow bell peppers. Everything looked so fresh and colorful in the large salad bowl. Finally, we put the ears of corn on the grill. The sweet scent of grilled corn made everyone hungry. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, our guests arrived. Grandma, Grandpa, Aunt Lisa, and Uncle Ben walked into the backyard. They carried beautiful flowers and gifts for my mother. Happy Mother's Day, everyone shouted happily. My mother looked surprised and deeply moved. Her eyes were wet with tears of joy. We all sat down at the large wooden table under the trees. My dad and I served the hot food straight from the grill. Grandpa took a bite of the beef steak and closed his eyes. Wow, Jackson, this beef is incredibly juicy and tender, he praised. And this salmon is perfectly cooked. It tastes so fresh, and Lisa added. My mother tasted the tomato and cucumber salad. The vegetables are so sweet and crisp, she said, looking at me. You chose the best ingredients, Jackson. Thank you so much. I felt a warm wave of happiness inside my heart. All my hard work at the supermarket was worth it. I smiled and said, You are welcome, Mom. Fresh ingredients make delicious meals. My dad raised his glass of fruit juice. A toast to the best mother in the world, he said. Everyone raised their glasses and laughed together. Later that evening, the house became quiet again. I sat on my bed and looked at the small piece of paper on my desk. It had Chloe's phone number on it. I picked up my phone and sent her a quick text message. Hi Chloe, the barbecue was a huge success. The steaks were perfect because of the marbling. Thank you for your help yesterday. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed. Chloe replied with a cheerful emoji. I'm so glad to hear that, Jackson. Happy Mother's Day to your mom. Let's hang out sometime. I smiled and leaned back against my pillow. This weekend was truly unforgettable. I learned how to shop, how to choose fresh food, and most importantly, I made a wonderful new friend. I realized that trying new things can be scary at first, but it can also bring beautiful surprises into your life.
Let's go easy, let it flow, like a river where the wildflowers grow. No more pressure, no more.
Welcome to Easy English. Subscribe and enjoy learning English every day.